picture again.
I'm used to that. People always laugh about my before and after pictures because I think I have probably the best one in the company, but we were not going to show that right now. So as we get started this morning, guys, I'm glad to be back. I mean, we took 2 weeks off like many people do in the summertime, and 2 weeks, no Saturdays, and I kind of missed it. I'm like, dang, I'm so excited about this morning because we have Coach Brent Palmer. He still gets called coach. I don't know how many years, but he's not football coaching now, but he's coaching people with their livelihood and coaching people to get their businesses up and going. And let's face it, those are some of the most important things you can do in life, is to have your situation where that you see people helping others. And so I'm trying to figure, Coach, how many years ago did we meet? I'm thinking it's 5 years now. Is that correct?
2019.
Wow. Since you get older, time flies, and it's quicker and quicker. Has it been 6 years or so? It's really great. When you meet someone and you feel like you've known all your life, it's kind of odd. He just had that personality. We met, just wanted to know who I was going to be working with. And we're not on the same teams. We're cross lines, but this company is very unique. And Coach Palmer and I got to be really close friends, and we've done a lot of great things together. And honestly, we're not financially tied in partner co. That's the part that makes this great about the way our company is structured. And we're so glad he agreed to be on this morning. He's been traveling all over the world, literally. And I think we finally had to give him enough time to get acclimated back to the time zones. He's like, if I just figure out the time zones we're on, it'll be great again. And so at any rate, we're just excited to have him this morning. I know all of you are here to hear some great words of wisdom. And I just was texting with somebody up in Canada, and they were saying, the last couple of weeks, it's been slow. I'm like, well, even I took off, didn't have a Saturday morning training. And, the truth of the matter is summer months are tough on people. And I think that's kind of our topic this morning a little bit, is to talking about coming through the ups and downs of business. And that's kind of, for me, and I'm going to say this before I introduce let Coach start, is that business is going to be that way, guys. Understand that. You're going to have peak months. And I think somebody always thinks it's always got to be up. No, when I was in the blue jean business, I can still tell you, in 1992, March, that was my best month in the whole business. Why do I remember? I remember my very best month, but I had great years, many great years. So ups and downs are normal, and if you're in a real business. And so, Coach Palmer, with that, I want people to understand what's about to happen as we come out of summer. And I think that's kind of our topic now, is really understanding the ups and downs of the business world. And how long have you been in this industry, Brent? I know it's a decade now. Is that right? Over a decade.
Yeah, my story, I actually recently went back a little bit because I've been in the industry, network marketing, since I was 18 years old. And a lot of people they don't know that, because I call it my inflection point. Everybody's got a point where they go all like they decide, I've got to do more in the industry. So 18 years old, my preacher at church was retired as an engineer from Amway. And I was actually, before I was 18 years old, I was probably 16. And he started inviting me to haul around the equipment for Amway and set up their venues.
Yeah.
And so I got really the great fortune at an early age to learn from an industry veteran, Dexter Yeager and Bertie Yeager. Sit on the buses, listen to him talk. And it was really a point for me where through the years I'd participated in network marketing, but never went in. I was kind of like that person. It was just a hobby, but I knew it worked. And it wasn't until I was in my early 30s that two kids of our own, we took two kids in to live with us from an unfortunate home situation. And at that point, well, I needed income. I was a high school principal. I'd been a head football coach. And that was the point that it was like, okay, you could do this industry. And the good Lord put me in a company called the Limu Company. And the rest is, I ended up growing that company and becoming the number one income earner in that company and the master distributor. And it didn't start out that way, Chris. I got started to make an extra $1,000 a month and pay my mortgage and have some breathing room and support those kids we took in. And that was my point. And so for years, I've known the network marketing industry works. And it's so for me, it's been a great journey.
Well, that's, I think we both have to think about that too. I don't know if you know that, Brent. I actually started in Amway as well, but I never did anything. I just sold some concrete cleaner for a little while, but I didn't really believe, my
And me,
belief level wasn't there. And it changed over time. What I know I didn't know is what I always say. What I didn't know, what I didn't know. And I thought I wanted to be in a real business. And like what I didn't realize was later, but this was a real business. It's just that most people don't treat it that way. So with that, Brent, let's talk about what's going on in our company right now. I mean, I think it's one of the key things I wanted to bring up. You brought up the Limu company, and I came from the RX company, and we got people from the Noni company. That's what makes Partner Co. so, in my opinion, so unique. I see so many other companies, they have this one thing that's all they talk about. And when you talk about signature products, our company's like, what is the most signature product? Yeah, we're leading with drops right now, but that's not the signature product. That's just what we're using to build our business. A great, great product, by the way. But we have such a unique company because of that. I mean, the brands I've been drinking, I just drank my Limu this morning, but I also drank my Moa, and I've got some Noni set out to drink this afternoon. So but my health has really improved because of some of these products. So let's talk about that just a little bit before we get into what's happening.
yeah, Chris, and we're going to talk about magnifying focus in just a little bit because that's kind of my topic point. But I've been like zeroed in recruiting right now. Like it's the season to create and build. If you've been in the industry, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But as I've been recruiting people, um, I've been talking to them about how Partner Co came to be, and I think this is important for all of us in the fact that we brought these brands together, and these brands had history in the industry. But from a business standpoint, it's like you got to ask yourself, we're a right at $400 million company that's in growth mode. Probably one of the few $400 million companies that's in a that is growing rapidly across the world. And so you got to ask yourself, like, do I want to be in a company that's got a 5 year track record and we can grab some cash for 5 years? Or do I want to be in a company that literally has got the opportunity to build this thing to last, right? And because my background, because I spent time in Amway and I didn't make any money, I just got really good mentorship. I realized, no, I want to be in that company. I want to earn not Amway, but I want to be in a company that is built to last, like it lasts. And I look at Partner Co. and take out that we're all here, right? Because we're all passionate about it. But look at the logic behind it. It's a company that came together in February of 2023 that brought these brands that were legacy brands that we're not going, does the products work? This, we've got it. But it also gave us a 52 country infrastructure that we didn't have to pay for day one, like millions and millions of dollars just to open one country, not to mention 52. By the way, we have our own China license. That's probably $20 million in itself that we had day one. So if a person's looking for a company that's got a global infrastructure that they didn't have to go in debt to get, and it's got years, Miranda was 27 years. It's our most robust company that's global, but years of government working relationships, credibility, banking relationships all over the world. Chris, you own a big company in the manufacturing world. That's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. The fact that we got that day one from putting this company together, and then, because sometimes, Chris, I get asked, like, oh, these are legacy products. Tahitian Noni's been out for 20, everybody knows about that. I'm like, well, it's still one of our number one selling products around the world. But we have a scientific advisory board, a wellness council that's R&D and products every month, every 3 months. We're launching one. We've launched some since Partner Co. has been in existence. And guess what? We're going to continue to launch new, innovative products that the world's going to be excited to hear about. So we have it all. We have that brand new company, new name, new vibe. We've got a legacy of products that's keeping our company profitable, growing. And then we're R&D and new innovative products to go into the marketplace. Guys, what else could you want? And then to have two owners that lead by credibility, humbleness, work ethic, they're constantly on the go in the field with their executives and C-level executives. It's just when you check off all the boxes, so many people look at a company and they worry about a comp plan. Oh, it's way more than about a comp plan. You got to look at the infrastructure, you got to look at the ownership, you got to look at the culture of the company. We have it all here at Partner Co. And so I always say, you just got to come sit in it, plug in, and feel it, you know. And that's been my recruiting cry right now as I'm on the phone with people talking to them about Partner Co.
Well, Brent, I think we don't put enough emphasis on the culture because I'm not going to use the country or the name of the person, but I got a phone call from a corporate executive in the network marketing industry, and the company's actually larger than us, but they don't have any growth. They're going backwards. And I'm not going to say the person says to me, "What is going on with that company?" I've just the buzz out here in this industry, and they're by the way, they're not in from the U.S. and they're someone I've known for years. And they're like, "You've got something special going on. I'm just trying to figure out who this Partner Co company is." And we talked a few minutes, and we got a buzz going on, guys, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And being a part of something when that wave comes is very important. I could go into a lot of reasons, but Coach, you said you had a little topic for us. I think you're going to share your screen and show us a little bit about what we're about to get started in this summer, guys. We all know summer is it's a tough month. It's just the way it is. I've been off. You can see I got sunburn. So where have I been? I've been on the boat too much. So the guys that we all do that, but there's a time and dry because people are getting ready to gear back up for school, get kids back out of things. It's just the time and dry for this to get started back. So Coach, I'm going to turn it to you to kind of share your screen and share us some wisdom that you have. And guys, if you don't realize what Coach Palmer can bring to the table, I've worked in this industry for 23 years. I've never been more excited about how he trains and his heart. I'm saying that from mine is that he's that person that you want to listen to, who's nothing more here to help you grow your business. And most of the people on this call are probably not on his team. That's why he's the kind of person he is. So Coach, with that, you share what you've got with us this morning. I'm very excited. I mean, I got me a notepad this morning.
Well, Chris, you're like a brother to me. And I got to share everything because coming together in 2019 when I met you for the first time, it's a huge nugget for all of us in the industry. They should call this connect marketing, right? It's all about connections. It's all about conversations. And in 2019, Chris Doyle called me up on the phone when we sold our company, the Limu company, and we sold and came a part of RX and we were joining forces. And he said, "Listen, I don't know you and you don't know me. I'd love to drive to Florence and spend a day with you." There's no financial means to that, right? So many people wouldn't do it because we're not on the same team. Chris did it. He came to Florence. We spent the day together just getting to know each other. And what it started that day was a friendship that's turned into he's one of my best friends in the world that I'd do anything for. And you never know what a connection point will create. And so I always say, take the meet. When somebody says, "Will you jump on a call? Will you jump on a three-way call? Will you jump on a Zoom to meet this person?" Absolutely, I want to. I take the meeting for what I can learn, not what I can earn, because you never know where the ripple goes. And for me, it's turned into having one of my best friends I've ever had in my life. So I just, I think that's a great example for all of us to just connect with people with genuineness and humbleness. I mean, it's the way. So the training today, I know you want me to jump into it. I've got something to share. Several months ago, when we exploded the system of growth, me, Todd, other leaders came together and we actually created a PowerPoint I'm going to share today that he shared earlier. But it is, you know what? I was a football coach. Listen, a lot has changed in football. Now they sit on the sideline. John Oakey. John Oakey used to be a reporter for athletics, right? He was a sports reporter, by the way. I know that. And he's an Aggie fan. So I don't have any financial tie to John. That's called getting to know people, right? And so John, today they're over there on the side of the, like looking at an iPad, watching the play that they just ran when they were on offense or defense. Technology has changed in football. But let me tell you what hasn't changed. The size of the field. It's 100 yards. That football is still a pigskin. They still have officials. There's a goalpost. First down is still 10 yards. A touchdown is still crossing the end zone, into the end zone, breaking the plane. There's fundamental principles of football or any other sport that you can put as much technology, you can put as much into it as you possibly want, but the fundamentals are the fundamentals. And I would say that is the case with any profession. So I want to put your mind here at ease. If you've come into May and June and you went, man, God, what happened? Some people went away. Guess what? You're in a profession called network marketing. Let me tell you another profession, retail. Do you think they have waves of business? Do you think Macy's might go through ups and downs through the course of the year? They have spikes at Black Friday, spikes before Christmas. We're the same way. So at times you get really fortunate in that last summer, I actually had a new organization come over and my spike in May and June was a spike. It kept growing. But if that inflection of new growth doesn't come in, then there might be a flattening. Why is that? Well, kids are graduating. I'm not making excuses. It's just reality. Kids are graduating. Summer's being booked with vacations. You know it all. You live it all every single year. So I've been in this industry for a long time, just like Chris. It's cyclical. Like you understand in November what's going to happen. You stay focused, you keep growing if you're smart, but you understand and you don't let it just absolutely erode your emotional status. So now, on the flip side of that, you got to know when the times are hot traditionally. So here's what's happening in our world right now. July the 4th is over. Canada Day's over. Here's what's going to happen over the next week or two. People are in the world are going to shift and they're going to think about back to school. The grandkids are going back to school. Got to get school closed. In 6 months, guess what? Oh my goodness, it's December. I got to prepare for Christmas. That's what's going on in every adult man and woman's life in our world that we walk by each and every day. Tags are due. Taxes is coming up. All of this stuff that we all have, you know what I'm talking. And put a one in the like if you know that, if that you've thought that before, I know I have. As a high school principal, I can promise you, I thought about all these things before I had a network marketing business. So, why is that so important for you to know right now? Because it's time to magnify your focus. Okay? I want you to think about that. If you're taking notes, magnify your focus. I don't care what you've done for a living up to this point. Now you're looking at taking and jumping into the network marketing profession. It is a profession. So right now, if we're all smart, we're going to magnify our focus. That's what I'm personally doing right now. And let me share with you this. I wrote this down today. I want you to think about this. The solution to distractions is focus. So, said differently, let me just say this. Focus is your superpower here. So, I want you to think about a magnifying glass. Like right now, everybody's minds are going to start shifting. And when I say everybody's, I'm talking about your should, but the prospects in the world, everybody that we have the opportunity to come across, either actively or passively, we're going to talk about that. Your focus is your superpower. So right now, let's zero in. Let's zero in. What does that look like? Well, so many of you run the system of growth, posting twice a day. We're going to talk about that. Zero in on that. Don't miss the 2 posts a day. Don't miss sandwiching in life where it's not just looking like post of the drops. Like right now, why is that? Because that opens up your passive recruiting, meaning people have an opportunity to come to that post for you. If you're not doing that, then are you totally focused? I'm talking about magnifying your focus for passive recruiting, that system of growth. That's where people will come to you in your news feed, in your comment section. But I also want you to think about magnifying your focus in, some would call it old school. I call it blocking and tackling of our industry that will always go on. Make a list. Guys, just yesterday, like I'm showing you true actual footage. Like this is, if you looked at this, names are on there. Okay. I'm reaching out to people. I have lists going. I'm asking, you go, Brent, what are you asking them? Listen, our company is doing some amazing things. I get to know them. I mean, I talk to them on the phone and I go, our company's we're in a major growth curve, but where we're at in your area where you live, we can explode this. I don't know if it's for you, but I would love to jump on a call, take a few minutes over a Zoom, share with you what we got. You might not be interested. That's okay. I'd love to show you though. I don't want the opportunity to pass without me putting it in front of your eyes. Do you hear my voice? Does it sound like a coach that's going to go win a state championship? Or does it sound like somebody's like, well, we might do okay if you jump on a call, please, master, sir. Uh, no, it's the confidence to reach out. So I make the list, right? Who is on your list right now? Do you have one? If you're magnifying your focus, the answer is I would do passive recruiting with the system of growth, but then I would do active recruiting with people that I want to share this with. I'd get that names list out because everybody's getting back focused, thinking about, I need more money in my life. Okay. Just that's a tip. I want you to do me a favor real quick before I get into this slide. When you magnify your focus, one of the things that I always do, I'm going to give you a little secret, okay? This is my secret that I do personally. I do this. How much money do I want to make over the next 12 months? So I'm going to give you an example for me because I like to lead with me. Like, you know, sometimes everybody's saying, you should do this, you should do this. I point at me and go, you should do it, Brent. So I want to make $2 million in network marketing over the next 12 months. Okay, I'm going to give you a challenge. Divide that by 2,000. Chris, can you do that for me? If you got your phone, buddy.
Dude, hang on a second.
I already know the number. Divided by 2,000. 2 million times divided by 2,000. Because the average worker works 2,000 hours a year. And then divide it by 60. There's 60 minutes in an hour. Now I can tell you that $2 million, that money is over $16 a minute. Chris, what's the number?
$16.66.
Wow. You telling me I got magnified in my focus of recruiting and might have put some numbers to paper and went, my time is worth over 16 hours a minute. How am I going to spend that minute? Am I going to watch TV tonight? 2-hour show? I'm not telling you don't watch TV. I'm telling you focus on where you want to go. What about 50,000, Chris? Somebody's on here today. What's your goal? Like, do you have a goal for the next 12 months? You're like, I need to give myself a raise. What's the raise you want to give yourself? If it's $50,000 over the next 12 months, Mary Catherine Ewing, her first year here, made over $50,000 with our company. So what does that look like for Mary Catherine? What's her time worth? 50,000 divided by 2,000 because the average worker works 2,000 hours a year, and then divide it by 60 minutes in an hour. What's that price tag?
41 cents a minute.
41 cents a minute. So your time, if you said, I want to jump $50,000 in the network marketing profession, then your time's worth 40 plus cents a minute if you want to jump up $50,000. Why do I say that? Because we only have 24 hours in the day. So if I'll cheat time out of my day in areas that I can pull, I got to think about how much every minute I'm adding, right? Doing IPAs, income producing activities. Is it worth it? And so that's just a tip from me that I do, guys, when I try to magnify my focus. Right now is the time to magnify your focus. The people that will, and there will be a lot of you on the call that magnify your focus, and you get serious about the system of growth, 2 posts a day, sandwiching things in, and then you get serious about who's on my contact list. This should be called connect marketing. Who can I connect with? And then connect somebody in with us on a 3-way call, Zoom. The person that runs over the next 6 months that direction, when you get to December the 31st, 2025, you will set your 2026 up for massive success. Just try me. Just challenge yourself. So what does that look like? Okay, I'm going to screen share. And some of you have seen this before. We created it. And I know Todd, Chris, you might have showed this too, but Todd shows it. I show it because when people look at me and they're like, I want to get serious. Okay, well, here's the blocking and the tackling. Here's how to get a first down. You know, we can write books, we can do all kinds of things, but this is the blocking and tackling. This was what will scale your paycheck. And I'm going to go to passive income producing activity first. You got to ask yourself, I believe you go to any training and you ask yourself, am I doing this? And if the answer is no, just start today. Like just implement it. So what does that look like? Well, are you posting twice a day from boards? Are you sandwiching in other material around it where you're not just a scrolling marquee of the drops? Are you working your messenger? Have you even went into your messenger and checked your spam in your messenger to see if somebody might have leaked in that sent you something maybe you're not friends with? Guys, you got to get magnified on your focus to work these areas. Sell drops, convert brand partners. I'm going to dive into that. I would tell you the best thing to do right now is to leave the house today with a box of drops in your hand. Don't come home until it's moved, because that's a potential lead for you. I would tell you today, don't let today in without getting in front and being in the presence of a prospect, right? On a 3-way call, put them on a Zoom, like find a way to check it off. I've sold a box and I've recruited somebody, or at least I've had a conversation with someone. You know, we can talk about adding reels, stories, lives, like focus in on what you're good at and then get good at it, right? Add new friends to Facebook. Have you ever thought about that? Like taking and going, okay, I'm going to add 10 new friends a day. What about joining boosting groups? You go, I'm not getting his traction. Are you in a boosting group? If you're not, you go, I don't even know what a boosting group is. It's where you get support on your post. So if you don't know what a boosting group is, reach out to your upline and ask, right? Remember, magnified focus, the people that do that, they ask questions if they don't understand something. So I want to share something else. It's a tip for all of us. When somebody sends you a win on the drops, so Paula Stringer, so you sell a box of drops, you check in, or maybe they send you a text and they're like, oh my gosh, I lost some weight. I lost 5 pounds, 2 inches in my weight. Screenshot that text. Screenshot that text and magnify your focus on making that a testimony that you could share with somebody, right? If me and Chris is talking about, it, he's like, I don't know if these drops that y'all are selling works or not. Chris, let me show you. Let me show you this lady right here that sent me this text 2 days ago. Right? Does that make sense? Give me a, I got to look at Chris. Is it making sense? I can't see the chats.
I'm not looking at the chat. I'm just listening, taking notes. I'm not loving
It's,
PowerHour. I have not used it, so it's awesome.
I've been able to get so many customers with screenshotting positive comments and putting it with the face. And another area, this is another one. This is another screenshot of, hey, somebody's having, maybe David sends me this or somebody sends this to David and it's like, here's it, screenshot it, leverage it as you're out in the world talking to people, right? And again, the power of our industry is stories are what sells, not facts. Remember that. Stories are what sells, so people will believe other people. So, another form when you're thinking about IPAs, plug into your favorite customer groups. Like maybe you're a part of, I'm going to give you an example, Circle of Health, right? Here's the thing to think about with customers. Are you adding more value to your customer than they paid for? Now, you know that. Have you put in customers and you're like, gave them a box of drops and off they go? Hope they win. I want to tell you who, in my mind, I've done it too, by the way. I'm throwing myself under the bus. But in my mind, I'll tell you who I think about when I don't follow up with my customers, when I don't plug them in, when I don't check on them daily, every couple of days. I think about Mary Catherine Ewing. I think about a lady that in her first year was a customer. Thank goodness I followed up with. She had a positive result. I converted her to a brand partner, and in her first year, she made over 50,000 with this company, and she lost close to 80 pounds. She's on the call today. What if I wouldn't have followed up with her? What if I wouldn't have checked in on her? That's the power. So check in on your customers every 1 to 3 days, like customers want to be loved on. Ask yourself, are you giving them more value than they paid for in that box of drops? Help them. Be okay with helping them break plateaus. If Tom calls me up and I say, Tom, tell me the good news on the drops, he's like, man, I ain't having any results. Okay, Tom, let me ask you a question. First of all, I'm just going to go through a few things. Are you drinking water? Well, no, I don't like drinking water. Or maybe Tom says, I lost 5 pounds and I'm at a standstill. Listen, Tom, there's a product we got called RestoreX, might be able to break through a plateau with you. And he's like, yeah, I need it. Boom. RestoreX, by the way, is a great product to break a plateau. So another one is maybe we drip on them with a Dr. Strand video, a Dr. Crystal video, a Kristen Doyle White video. Like they're all in boards. Leverage them if you need them. These are all things to ask yourself. Well, check in on your customers every 2 to 3 days. Once you get a positive response, what I love to ask them is tell me the good news on the drops. I'm always opening it, Chris, with a positive. Tell me the good news on the drops. And Dawn says, well, I hadn't lost any weight, but I'm sleeping better. Dawn, that's amazing. Like I'm gonna be that's amazing, Dawn. Great job. I mean, listen, you're gonna need another box soon. And you can read this script. Take a picture of it. Like know what your follow-up is when Dawn says a positive result. Okay. We also in boards have a 1, 2, 3 text, right? Go check it out on a follow-up. So I'm just giving you some examples. So I messed up right here on my slide, but you've got to have speed and purpose on the conversion. So many people, Chris, get really they love the upfront cash. They love the daily pay of moving the drops. And sometimes we can get real comfortable with having money in our pocket. But the true thing here is the reason the system of growth was designed was to create results for you lead wise, people ordering the drops and us converting them to when we run through your warm market on social media, you have built a sizable team of conversions to brand partners because they can continue those sales on. Would you rather sell? I'm looking right here, looking at, hold on, let me give me another name. Tom, I feel like I'm picking on you. Well, Tom, I'm going to use you. Tom, would you rather sell a million boxes of drops or would you rather have a million people selling the boxes of drops?
Rather have a million people doing it.
I want to tell you, it's the power of conversion. You want to actively recruit.
We got somebody, we need to unmute everybody, Brent, unmute yourself again. Somebody just doesn't understand. Unmute yourself. We're good. Just unmute yourself, Brent.
Okay, you got me now?
Got you back. You're good.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. So I just want to say, like, we show this over and over and over, but actively recruiting a team that is going to also run the system of growth. They're also out selling, recruiting others, right? That's the goal here. That's what creates what Chris Doyle has experienced in the network marketing industry of having passive income. He still works, but he has a true passive income here with the company as well. So, what does actively recruiting look like? Ask yourself this again, inflection points, like you're the only one that knows this. The people that are magnified focused right now, they're going to incorporate even actively recruiting. They're going to do launch parties for their new people. They put a new person in. They're going to pursue that person and go, hey, if we can get some people together, I'll come over. I'll share what we got going on with Partner Co. The secret's to show, don't tell. Like let's get in front of the show, right? It's converting customers to brand partners. If you're sitting there going, man, I put so many customers in last year and I just lost them. That's it. I almost said I almost went there, Chris. Don't have that mindset. Do you want to know the most important asset in your business right now? It's your names list. That is worth the most money for you. So if you're thinking those customers are just dead in the water now that you sold to, send me your customer list and their numbers, and I'll take care of them for you. That was supposed to be a joke. Don't sit on your customers and go, well, they're just gone. Call them up and go, look, I know you used the drops a year ago. Listen, we're exploding with the drops. And I would love to share how we're exploding. Use it as a way to actively recruit. You go, well, they were just a customer. Do you think they have bills? Do you think their kids go back to school and they have to buy clothes? You think they got Christmas coming up? You don't think your customers are humans that deal with all those issues? Actively recruit them. Do 2-on-1 presentations. Have you done? If I were to put you on the spot today and say, you got to present a presentation for Partner Co., could you do it? If you say no, that's okay. That's totally okay. Get magnified focused around getting your presentation down. What does that look like? Contact your upline and go, look, I need to practice my presentation with you. I need to get it down because I don't want to wait around. Over the next 6 months, I want to set my 2026 up. 3-way calls. I laugh at that. They're like, is that old school or does that thing still work? We make a lot of money still today with 3-way calls. So I want to give you this. Todd put this picture in here. I'm like, Todd, that's blurry, but it's okay. All right. Part-time. Think about this. If you're here today and you're like, you know what? I want to get to manager paid as because that's about $1,000 a month. We've combed the data in the company. The data of a paid as manager in our company, that's 1,000. Let's just say you've got 2 lines of business. You're growing 1,000 PV in your line 1, 1,000 PV in your line 2 as a manager. A manager makes about $1,000 a month, $14,000 a year from our company stats. So what does that look like? And listen, I'm not making an income claim, okay? This is data that they can draw. The companies put it up. But 5 presentations a week is a part-time. It's somebody that can earn some good hustle money, good part-time money. Okay? But you need to get in front. That could be your personals, people you're recruiting, or your team. But you got to ask yourself, when's the last time I've done 5 presentations in a week? And if you're like, I haven't, I'm not being ugly. I'm just being your coach. You're not even building a part-time business. Okay? So magnify your focus. If you want to be part-time, you want hustle money, you can get to $1,000 a month with 5 presentations a week. But then I want you to step it up. Some of you are here and you're like, I want to get to 6 figures. I want to replace my income. You gotta like that's where I was when I was a high school principal, Chris. And like I had to fight to expose 5 people a day. But let me tell you, when you magnify your focus, and that's all that matters is 5 people a day getting in front of that are new, between who you're recruiting and your team's recruiting, 5 a day, you can do it pretty quick. You'll get your presentation down to 15 or 20 minutes. So if you've got an hour a day to give to the company because you're working a full-time job, you can expose 5 people a day. Now, there's probably not going to be time to write books. There's probably not going to be time to cut a bunch of videos, to be a social media celebrity. There's probably not going to be time for me and Chris to get on the phone for 3 hours and talk about how we're going to blow this business up. I got an hour a day. I work a full-time job. I can't do anything but get in the presence of a prospect. And I need 5 of them a day to create good full-time money here. Does that make sense? I hope this adds value to you.
It absolutely does, Brent. I want to
And
make
I
add
would,
to that. Brent doesn't need to have to recruit. Did you see his list? This is a guy who's got one of the largest incomes in the entire world in this company, yet he showed you a list of his personal prospects. And a lot of times people don't realize that if you're going to, a wise networker who's not around anymore, who mentored me, told me if you're not bringing new blood on your business consistently, you're not going anywhere. And so Coach Palmer doesn't have to have new people, but he's still consistent looking. And he don't know where that nugget's going to come out and find that diamond that he needs. Just mentioned Mary Catherine Ewing. He didn't know that. It's just somebody's going to come show up. It's don't know when it's going to happen. I just wanted to add that because you don't have to recruit anymore, but you're wanting to build your business to a larger income.
and Chris, I'm glad you said that because I love it still. If you want to know what the most fun I have in the business, put me in the room with a new person. Let me listen to their story. Let me talk to them. Let me get to know them. Let me share what we got. They might not, they might do it, they might not. That's not the point. The point is, I'm winning with exposures. Okay. I'm going to close every one of them. But guess what? Some of them don't join me. I'm okay with that because I know 5 a day is always going to build me a full-time income in this industry. And so that's a Zoom, that's a coffee shop, that's a drop talk. However you can get however you can get in front of a person, that's the winning way. There's John Oakey right there. I mean, pictures like, have you got any of these going on in your team? I challenge you to magnify your focus. Find a way to connect, right? Find a way to create community. Find a way to train these armies up where they know what they're doing, just like I'm doing this morning with you. So why is it so important? Because at the end of the day, the difference between what we're doing in Partner Co. in this profession and a normal job, Chris Doyle, like he's made great money out of the industry, but here's why he's doing network marketing. Because most people's job creates linear income. And if something ever happens in life that causes you to have to stop work, I always say you got to dig your well before you're thirsty. Like you have to prepare. It's not if something's going to happen in life, it's when. And so when that stop happens in a job, the income stops with it. Maybe a person's got retirement built up, other things built up, but that they're not going to pay for services that you're not there to create. John Oakey's on. They're not still paying him to be a news anchor and to do the weather. And he's not getting up at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning anymore. And so that pay stopped. Now, obviously, there's retirement and all that stuff, but the linear income stops. Here, we build an organization, we create community, we train the organization up, and we're all going to drink the products every month because we know the value. That creates the residual income that if you had to stop, it continues on. Chris, one of the best things you've ever said that I love is you talk to people about, listen, when you're making $4,000 a month or $2,000 a month of residual income, do you know how much money you would have to have in the bank drawing you interest to create? Guys, if you, Chris, maybe you can add to that. I mean, it's always a beautiful thing you share.
I think it's what I think you're referring to the story where I was setting up my honestly my wheel, and I was setting up a trust account, and the attorney was trying to understand my business, and he could not believe the kind of income that I had from a residual income. He said, I trade time for money here. If I work as an attorney, he said, when I quit doing job work, they quit paying me. He said, I should be doing what you're doing. And I laughed, and I'm like, you're not smart enough to do this because you want to, he's an attorney. They think they're too uppity. They're too, I don't mean that any bad, maybe an attorney on here. I don't mean that they just think what they don't realize is the power. And I don't think that I did as a business owner, Brent. I mean, I made a ton of money doing blue jeans, but it was still linear income because if that business wasn't running, they didn't keep paying me. So when I finally found the power of residual, it's just hard to explain to people. Until you've experienced it and it's solid, you really don't understand that power. And that's where we're at. Well, a company can do that with because the products absolutely change lives.
Absolutely. And me and Chris talk about it all the time when we get a chance to talk for a few minutes. It's like out of all the businesses, I'm fortunate, I'm grateful today. I have a lot of different businesses in network marketing, outside of network marketing. But the best business I have is network marketing. And that's why I give it all my focus. Like I'm like, yeah, I'll focus. But my real estate, everybody else runs that. Like I don't focus there. Like I let them focus there. I focus right on network marketing because I know it has the most upscale potential out of anything that I do. Anything that I do. And so I want to tune you in. Not that everybody can get on this, but make sure you know about this. Make sure your team knows about this. Like the income producing activity call is so magical because it's what have you done in the last 24 to 48 hours to drive income? And Dawn, Tom, Paula, when I see this call and I listen, I don't get on there and it's not about Brent Palmer. I get on there, even I'm listening to you go, wow, okay, I'm going to implement that. I say this, and I'm going to stop my screen. I say this all the time that this industry, Chris, did my screen stop?
It did?
Okay, good.
No, not yet. No, it did not.
Okay, I got it now.
There you go. You're back.
Anybody can do this technology if I can. So,
Know that we both are not the best techie people. That's all right.
as I end, I want to end this with you, Chris, and thanks for having me on this morning. I hope I added some value, but it's for me when I look at my day and I look what I'm doing, I got to ask myself every day, and I challenge you. You're more than welcome to go look at my Facebook and go, Brent, is Brent leading by the tongue in his shoes or the tongue in his mouth telling everybody else what to do? Go look and see if I made posts this week using boards. I challenge you. You don't see like 9,000 comments on a post, but guess what? I'm selling drops. I'm getting leads. I'm converting them, the customers to brand partners. So consistently, passively have an arsenal that you're doing, get magnified, focused around that, and then flip it over and go, Who do I need to be talking to right now? And I challenge you, if you struggle with what you would say, if you would just simply call people up and go, hey, I had you on my mind today. I was thinking about you. How's your kids? How's the family? And you get into a conversation, 8 out of 10 times it will lead to what you're doing. And then that's the time that we gotta like have some energy about us and go, oh my gosh, it's crazy right now. I mean, the growth we're having. Listen, I thought about you too because you could do this. It's so simple. I don't know if it'd be for you, but we're making a ton of money in the company doing this with just people, you know, and I'd love to share it with you. And when they say, yeah, if they say, no, nah, I'm not interested, I move on and treat them with respect. Okay. If they say, yeah, I might be interested in that, I don't know if I could do it or not. But listen, let's look at tomorrow's schedule. Give me 2 times it's open for you, and I'll give you a call. I'll shoot you over a Zoom. That's it. That's it. Or I'm on the phone with Chris and he seems a little excited. I'm like, Chris, hold on just a second. I call Tom up. I'm like, hey, Tom, I got a guy excited. Would you share really quick? Tom's like, yeah, I got a few minutes. Boom. I click back over. I go, Chris, I got Tom on. I don't ask for permission. I just do it. I got Tom on. I just wanted him to come on. Tom's amazing, great friend of mine, killing it in the business. I just wanted him to share his testimony real quick with you. Tom does it, right? Connect marketing. Connect marketing. That's what it is. Like right now, as we end, is the time of the year to magnify your focus. You got to decide, do you want to be part-time? Do 5 presentations a week. Do you want to be full-time, income-wise? Do 5 a day. Like challenge yourself. I'm not competing with anyone in the company. You know who I'm competing with? The guy staring back in the mirror. So if you're a person that deals with competing with others, you're not competing with others in Partner Co. I can promise you. You're competing with yourself. And if you've got aspirations, put your income down on what you want to grow it to this year. Divide it by 2,000, divide it by 60, and look at that time. And I promise you, when you're out going, I'm just scrolling Facebook, just looking at all the posts. Dang it, I just gave up $16. What am I doing? It'll make all the difference in the world so that you can magnify your focus. We got a lot of time during the day that we can build this business if we choose. And remember this always. And I hope this is not too cliche, but it really has stuck with me when I heard it from stage one time. The power of network marketing is the ability to lie, cheat, and steal. If you're new, you're like, I cannot believe he said that. As adults, we got to be willing to lie in bed at night and dream where we want to go. We have got to keep the dream alive. I don't care how old we are. The second thing we got to do is we got to cheat those times out of the day so that I can do the income producing activity. And the third thing is I got to plug into people. I got to find mentors. Maybe they don't even know they're my mentor, but I'm stealing their ideas, their wisdom, their thoughts. And you know what? They're happy I'm doing it. Because any great leader, any great mentor wants to leave a legacy. They don't need credit. That's called ego. Ego needs credit. What a great leader is they learn with the intent to teach and share their wisdom. And they open the door for people to steal their ideas and make it their own. So they have the great gratitude of knowing that person is growing because they've tuned into me. I am so happy for them. So think about that as we exit today. Chris, thanks so much for having me on the call. I hope we added some value today.
Coach, you always are amazing. We had so many great comments in the chat. And I want everybody to understand when Coach talked about what his goals are, everybody's goals are different here and your goals will change. And he mentioned what he said when he started. He said, my original goal was to help pay my mortgage. $1,000 a month is what I started for. So if your goal is not that big, that's okay. You work toward that first goal, but don't sell yourself short. So many people don't realize that what's available to them. I don't have a college degree. I don't have, but what I have is a dream, just like Coach talked about. I've always dreamed of doing something special. And so all network marketing was a tool. It's not, and don't get me wrong, it's helped my health. I love the products, but it's a tool to get where I wanted to be. And guys, the opportunity right now with our company, in my opinion, it's as special as it's ever been. As a matter of fact, so much is special. I'm headed to Columbus, Ohio, and I haven't traveled in our business forever. I'm going up there at the end of the month to hear the new product announcement. And I'm going to, you know what? I got a list written for Ohio because I know people there. Guys, if you that's all it's about. So, Coach, thank you so much. I mean, I know everybody wants to talk about that. We're going to have him back. You're one of the favorite people for training in this whole company, but it's because you lead with such, you're so humble about your success. Guys, this is a guy who's made so much money in our industry. I don't like to do income plans, but we all have done very well for ourselves. Don't have to do this anymore. And I've kind of not done it for a while, but you know what? That's a good thing because you build that income that continues to come. But Coach, thanks for being on this morning. We're going to end the recording.
Thank you, Chris.